From the hunter to the hunted, the tables might have turned for Star Wars Vision Season 3, but the quality sure hasn't. Let's check it out. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another Super Saturday, the show where we discuss all things super and awesome. Today, I'm happy to get back into some cartoons. As of a couple days ago, at the time of this recording, we were gifted with our third season of Star Wars Visions. Now, I won't be regaling every nuance present in the show itself, but it's probably best to cover the basic premise before getting to today's subject. Star Wars Visions is a collection of animated shorts running about 15 to 20 minutes or so. The intent of the show was to hand the Star Wars world over to the world's premier anime folks and see what they came up with. The creators are free to play however they see fit so long as they remain true to the themes and emotional identity of the greater Star Wars universe. Season 1 was comprised of work from 7 of Japan's top animation studios: Kamikaze Douga, Studio Colorido, not Colorado, that's a state, Geno Studio, Trigger, Kinema Citrus, Production IG, and Science Saru. Trigger and Science Saru actually did 2 shorts each. Reception of the show was positive, with reviews echoing my own sentiment at the time. Not enough of the ones I loved and way too much of the ones I didn't care for. I would further echo the reviewers here in that I was also unsure who the target audience was for the series, as each short was wildly different in tone and presentation than the others. For example, there's a chunk of these that would probably entertain kids quite well, which makes me think, oh, this is a parents watching with their kids kind of situation, something like that. But then you have shorts that are very clearly adult oriented, like the subject of today's video, the Ronin, but we'll get to him in a moment. So there was some tonal whiplash for me after season 1, and I don't appear to be alone in that sentiment. Now, don't get me wrong. All of the work in here is absolutely top tier. It's great. I wasn't the target audience for a chunk of it. And I felt like, if this is for, parents watching with their kids, a parent would have to screen the entire series to be like, okay, which ones are for the kids and which ones are we're going to be like, so it was interesting, I suppose. Season 2 left Japan largely but not completely behind, with shorts given to animation studios ranging from Spain to Ireland to Chile to the UK, South Korea, France, India, Japan again, the US, and a joint effort from Studio Triggerfish, which is both Irish and South African. That language barrier must have been brutal, but I digress. These shorts went much more further afield, but the series was still positively received. I found it interesting and respectable, but I wouldn't say memorable. Season 1 was released on September 22nd of 2021, while Season 2 came out for May the 4th be with you in 2023. True to form, a couple years later, we have Season 3, and we are again back in Japan for this season. Again, the shorts are all excellent quality, superbly rendered. I compliment all of them. But again, there were really only a couple that spoke to me as the intended audience, and one in particular is the focus of today's discussion. Introduced with the very first short of season 1 because they knew they had a winner on their hands, but I digress. The duel drops us into the world of the Ronin. Not since peanut butter and chocolate got together have I seen a marriage so thoroughly enjoyable than Star Wars and feudal Japan. This world is almost my preferred Star Wars setting. It's just, I could gush for days about how awesome it is, but we have a video to cover, so we're moving on here. Directed by Takanobu Mizuno, written by Takashi Okazaki, and animated by Kamikaze Douga, the duel hooked me right out of the gates. Opening with a harsh black on white intro, it made me think this must be what a mashup between old samurai films and a master comic artist sketchpad would look like. Further, I'm going to take a moment to reiterate, I absolutely adore how well feudal Japan tropes and trappings marry with Star Wars elements. Droids with bits of decoration and clothing? Chef's kiss. And human beings would absolutely do that with their buddies. We name our Roombas, for goodness sake. Also, a lightsaber that draws out like a katana. Oh, yes. Yes, more of that, please. And all the stormtroopers and their poorly maintained mismatch of gear hovering around a warlord is just perfect. Also, I would further like to point out, just look at how much personality and intriguing details given to this no-name group of bandits within the confines of this tiny little episode. A smattering of dialogue, strong character design, and suddenly you have this group of mercs you actually kind of give a crap about. Very well done. Now, we'll turn to the main character, the Ronin. He was fascinating right from the get-go. During the first few minutes of the show, I actually wondered if he even was a Force user or not. I mean, sure, he had a blade, but anyone can learn to swing a lightsaber very, very carefully. But then he force stopped the Sith blade, and I was like, oh, okay, he's a Jedi. Then he pops out his signature red blade, and I'm like, wait, he's a Sith? Now, this was the moment I really started to get into this guy. A Sith hunting down and fighting other Sith. It reminded me just a touch of some of the Sith lore in Star Wars The Old Republic when I play that. Fantastic game, by the way. Give it a try. It's free to play. But some of the Sith doctrine is that, might makes right. If somebody beats you, well, that's how it is. They showed that you were weaker or incompetent or something, and they're just weeding out the bad ones to give room for the strongest. And that's really what this felt like at first. Like the Ronin was running around hunting down other Sith to, test them, if you will, to see if they're strong enough to call themselves Sith, something like that. And I loved it. It added such an unexpected and enjoyable twist onto an already engrossing story. He's not a wandering Jedi. He's not doing this out of a selfless code. He's there for the Sith woman and her kyber crystal. And it just so happened he helped out this village in the process. Accidental alignment and all that. But there was one more twist. When he dropped that kyber crystal, that priceless artifact of the Star Wars universe, into that kid's palm, he shattered the illusion of not only him being a single-minded character who accidentally saved a village. Oh no. He was also shattering the illusion that Sith are just mindless, mustache-twirling evil. His stated goal, to hunt down Sith, take their crystals, he gives away selflessly. And thus his character becomes one of my favorite in all of Star Wars canon, right up there with Baylan Skoll, Anakin, Mace Windu, Luke, Mando, you name it. And I was really sad when the show was over. I figured, that's it. This is all we'll get of this Ronin, darn it. But it wasn't. I haven't checked out either the comic or the novel yet. The Ronin is so dear to me as a character, I tend to want to stay away from any portrayal that might taint him in some way. While the novel, having not been written by the same crew that gave us the initial presentation, is billed as, it's fine, it's okay. I don't think I'll be looking into that. I need more than just okay for the Ronin. Now, intriguingly, the comic book is the same writer, so I actually might go try to find a copy of that at some point. However, there is no need to despair. Season 3 of Star Wars Visions has brought back the return of the Ronin. Again directed by Takanobu Mizuni, animated by Kamikaze Duga, along with Anima. This time the Ronin is being written by Junpei Mitsuzaki. Sorry about that. And the treatment of the Ronin is very slightly different. I state that at the outset. However, under Mitsuni's direction, we are treated to exactly the same world. This beautiful marriage of feudal Japan alongside existing Star Wars elements. And again, it marries perfectly. So much so that the very slight difference in writing treatment really doesn't show at all, at least for me. This time, instead of the Ronin on the hunt, we have a crazy zealot hunting the Ronin. And this guy puts him to the test, let me tell you. I was tempted to dive into the nuances of this new antagonist to really present the interesting contrast to the first episode of the Ronin saga. Because it is like almost like a dark mirror of the first show. It was very well done. But I will refrain. This show is literally just out, and I want to avoid spoilers as much as possible. So I will say, is this second outing with the Ronin worth a look? Oh, yes, absolutely. Get out there right now and watch it. It's fantastic. I love it. Is the second season worth a look? And I would answer that it is a perfect mirror of the first season. I had a couple, like the flagship Ronin episode, that I really, really enjoyed. And then there was a big old chunk of stuff that I wasn't the target audience for. That being said, I'm not every person in the universe. Individual tastes will vary. I will say the quality in production, animation, writing, everything else is absolutely right there on par with the first Japanese go around we had in season 1. So if you enjoyed season 1, you are absolutely going to enjoy season 3. So go check it out. So there you have it, folks. My recommendation for a great Saturday morning cartoon to watch. Star Wars Visions Season 3. Available as we speak on Disney+. Obviously, there's no physical media of it yet, but you can be assured when it's out, I will be getting a copy. Get your physical media. This digital stuff's only for the birds. But that's all I got for today. I do hope I entertained y'all. Now, it is Saturday morning, y'all. Get out there and watch some cartoons. Keep the tradition alive. While you're at it, pop in a good movie. Maybe read a comic. Go grab a game, gather around the table, roll some dice, make some memories. Get your drink of water. a little exercise. And as always, have a good one.